Welcome to Agenda Edina, a program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. The city is working with Frauenschuh and United Properties to determine the best way to redevelop the former public works site on Eden Avenue. During a July meeting, the Housing and Redevelopment Authority approved a letter of engagement with the two companies to develop a site concept before October. The south portion of the site at 5146 Eden Avenue is planned for senior cooperative housing. The HRA envisions a complimentary indoor-outdoor restaurant with activities and a green space connecting to a planned pedestrian bridge in the area on the north side.
So over the next 3 months, we're going to be going to the marketplace, looking at who's currently operating those types of facilities, who's looking to expand, who's looking to grow, and who wants that next great opportunity here in Edina. So it can be a fairly short process to come up with a short list, but then we still have to make the selection, and then we still have to negotiate the agreement. So there's several steps still to come, but we think in the next 3 months we can narrow the field and find 2 or 3 that are really worth talking to, and then we'll work hard and come up with the best terms and come up with the best project.
Within the next month or so, Frauenschuh and United Properties will refine the concept and bring it back to the HRA for approval. Once a concept is approved, the two companies will solicit specific proposals to find the right operators or partners for the site. If a deal is struck as the HRA's exclusive agent, Frauenschuh and United Properties would be compensated at a market rate brokerage fee for finding the right operator on the north portion of the site. Interlachen Country Club is expanding to provide more parking, practice facilities, and improved traffic on Waterman Avenue, as well as employee safety. This month, the Edina City Council approved a conditional use permit to allow for a new parking lot, cul-de-sac with security gate on Waterman Avenue, and an expanded practice tee and new putting green. Interlachen has had insufficient parking for several summers and rents parking space from Shepherd of the Hills Lutheran Church, about a half-mile from the clubhouse. Employees must cross Blake Road, where there is no crosswalk and limited shoulder space. Under the plan, a new parking lot would be created for employees on a vacant lot on Waterman Avenue and a home property owned by the club. To reduce traffic on Waterman, the new cul-de-sac and security gate will require all members to use the club's main entrance off of Interlachen Boulevard. The only traffic permitted on Waterman will be emergency vehicles and delivery trucks that cannot access loading docks off of Interlachen. A practice tee and new putting green will be built on the current site of 6305 Waterman Avenue. Landscaping will screen the new features. The club also purchased the residential property directly west of the planned putting green to provide additional buffer and screening.
Interlachen's been a valued member of the community for 110 years, and we're proud of being a member of the Edina community, and being a good neighbor is important to us. And hopefully we demonstrated that through this process. We engaged with neighbors in the city early on in our planning process and made several adjustments to our plan based on feedback and concerns, and ultimately I think that's what community is all about.
Interlachen Country Club plans to begin the project later this summer. The demolition or remodel of older homes can lead to a lot of usable material being sent to the landfill. Now, homeowners and developers in Hennepin County can take advantage of grants to help offset the cost of salvaging, reusing, and recycling that material instead. Edina TV shows us how.
This house was built in 1938. It's kind of an English cottage, Cape Cod.
Its owners want a different floor plan, but don't want to leave the historic country club district.
We're moving walls around, we're creating new structure, but we also have to take away things that are either deteriorating or just aren't up to code.
That means everything unwanted inside has to go.
But you find some old things, we find old newspapers, I found a buggy whip one time.
Instead of all this going to the landfill, most of it will be recycled.
What we've done is we've taken off the plaster.
The new floor plan requires taking down old walls.
Well, you can see the wood is in really good condition.
These Douglas fir studs will be reused because the contractor, Great Neighborhood Homes, is deconstructing the inside of this home piece by piece.
It's typically done by hand with hand tools. And so in comparison to demolition, this preserves the building materials so that they can be reused either in another project, resold for a DIY or that sort of thing.
It's an option that comes with added labor costs, but with so many benefits to consider, Hennepin County is offering up to $5,000 for choosing deconstruction, not demolition.
So when folks are doing renovation projects or full demolition projects, I think it's important to take a step back and think about, when you're planning, what materials could be reused, repurposed.
Things like doors, cabinetry, trim, and a lot of other materials.
Helps the climate, helps make housing more affordable.
The demolition grants are available for homeowners and developers in Hennepin County for work on residential properties. The projects must meet reuse and disposal criteria. The structure or renovation must be 500 square feet or larger, and it must have been built prior to 1970.
A lot of our projects work with organizations like Better Futures Minnesota or Habitat for Humanity Restore, salvage organizations like Bauer Brothers. So those all are local organizations here in the Twin Cities that have reuse warehouses. So they'll take the materials and then resell them there.
Between reusing materials and recycling, Cashman says up to 85% of the material removed from projects like this are kept out of landfills.
So we're actually taking this space and converting it to an open staircase, wide open staircase, and then a walk-in pantry off the kitchen.
An upgrade that puts building materials back into the community, not the trash heap. I'm Dan Carpenter for Edina TV.
To receive the grant money, applicants must submit itemized receipts and other documentation. To learn more about the Deconstruction Grant requirements, visit hennepin.us/deconstruction. Thank you for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.